the gathering so special and so unique. And I think in order to maximize this experience so that you can carry what happens in this atmosphere out into your life, which will take your life to another level, which will bring you to a place of truly dominion, in a dimension of dominion in life. In order to really max this experience out, you have to understand what happens in this atmosphere. Now, here's the reality. As a child of God, you're connected to something so awesome, something so unfailing, something so uncontestable, something so powerful, something so unshakable. As a child of God, you're always connected to that reality. But the reality is, we oftentimes live in a world, in a universe where the sound of that realm is often difficult to hear. You got to kind of follow me. So in other words, there was this movie, I think it was called Epic. There was a movie called Epic. It was a children's movie called Epic. It was a powerful movie, child's movie called Epic. I have children, that's why I was there, and it was good. So even if you don't have children, you ought to go see Epic just to get the point. But anyway, it was a movie called Epic, and in the movie Epic, you had the human world, and then you had the world of the insects and the insects. And there were two different worlds. And it was like the humans were moving in a very slow, this is the other way around. The humans were slow, right? Yeah. So the humans, thank you. Blow my whole analogy. But anyway, the humans were moving very slow. And the insects were moving fast. They were ahead of things. And it was cool because there were two dimensions. And the more superior dimension, interestingly enough, was the insects because it was faster. And that's kind of how it is with us. If you don't know what you're connected to, you'll live less than what you have access to. And so what makes gatherings like this awesome is that our only focus is to worship God and to align ourselves with the reality of heaven. And when we get there, we begin to see life properly. We don't come in. You may come in here with 15 challenges. 15 things you need to build, 15 obstacles you need to overcome, 15 questions you need answered. So you come in with a seeming deficit, and then you align yourself with heaven. You align yourself with the realm where you are already king. I wish I could say this better. See, here in this realm, if you're confined to this realm, you're trying to be king or queen, however you want to do it, whatever. You're trying to be royalty. You're trying to be in charge. You're trying to have dominion. There's a struggle for dominion. There's a struggle to overcome this, a struggle to overcome that, a struggle to amass this, a struggle to amass that. So you're operating from a place of deficit. But when you tap into the realm of the kingdom, where it's just a nation of kings and priests, a whole bunch of kings, then it's almost like you are reminded of who you are, and you're able to see life through the lenses of your kingship or your queenship, however. Just let me say kingship, okay? And as you consistently begin to see life from the place of your dominion, from the place of your power, from the place of your kingship, you will begin to create, I wish I could say this the way I see it, not bail me out solutions, but have dominion solutions. Since I am king, this is so. Since I am king, this will be created. Since I am king, this will be. Since I'm king, this already is. So I have to continue to press into this atmosphere where every lie is blocked out. Every lie that says I am not, every lie that says that I don't have, all of that it has no place here. And so you have to get, this is why you keep coming, because you have to get used to thinking right. You have to get used to feeling right and seeing right so you can take this out and have dominion. As opposed to taking whatever life brings to you. And this song, my God, this song, every time you sing this song, Chloe, I don't know what in the world is going on with you. God's just got his hand. She can't even contain it. She starts doing this because you guys, pew. And so you say, well, that's too spiritual. I've got practical issues, but you don't understand that you're a spiritual being. And the spiritual will always supersede the natural. Everything you see in the natural was produced by that. Everything that's visible began from the invisible realm. Oh, don't make me. That monitor right there started invisible. It was an idea in somebody's mind. It was spiritual. And then once that which was spiritual was embraced and acted upon, we have a monitor now. And, oh, God, I feel heaven. And the person who got the thought did not think that it cannot be. They said it already is. It just hasn't been. They said it is so. So anytime you have an opportunity to get in God's house, and for God to remind you as a son or daughter of the Most High God, that this is how we do what we do. Come on, somebody. That this is how we do what we do, and you consistently renew your mind with that this is how we do what we do, that this is how we do what we do, that this is how we do what we do, then you walk out the house doing it how you know. I just messed that up. You get the point. Doing it like you know how to do it. Hello, somebody. I'm trying to change somebody's life for real in here today. I want you to step into something higher. Man, I feel God, this is a different way. There are miracles waiting for you to believe that you are. Oh, I promise you, you're not waiting on a miracle. A miracle's waiting on you. You know what I love about the scripture? Jesus, he goes about and miracles are just falling off of him. Everywhere he goes, just miracles. And you know what the crazy thing is? He never got excited about it. He was like, oh my God, there's a miracle. You never see him excited about miracles. He's just doing them. Ear grow back. Arm be stretched out. Sickness go. Doesn't even look back. He doesn't have to look back because he's walking in such a dimension of I am. That he doesn't even have time or the space or the energy to consider it not being so. I feel God. That's how miracles take place. You don't even have it in your spirit to even have the thought of it not being so. It's so, and you move on. If Jesus would have never finished his ministry. If he was walking, wondering if this was going to happen. Oh, I hope that works. And standing there going through. He didn't have time for that. Be healed. Be healed. Come out. Do this. Do that. That's how it works. So who are you going to be? When every word that God speaks to you is so. Where you're no longer going back and forth. In faith and out of faith. I feel God on that. In faith and out of faith. In belief and in unbelief. I just hear the Lord saying, some of you just need to dive in. Just dive in. Just go all in. One foot in faith, the other foot in, well, if it don't work. I promise you that's not how it works. One foot in, I really believe it's going to happen. But just in case it don't, I feel some of you right now are supposed to just and stand and have no plan B, no ulterior motive. Yes, I know it goes against logic, but I'm not talking about logic. I'm talking about what God has said, and it defies logic. Let me tell you about logic. Y'all are not supposed to be here 3 times on a Sunday and 1 time on you're not supposed to be here. Logic said you are a fool planting a church. Are you crazy? Logic said that we weren't supposed to, and we want to get out of this building and soon once we get it nice, but logic said that this building didn't make sense. Can I just give you testimony real quick? This building didn't make sense, okay? We had to move here. Guess what this building doesn't have? It doesn't have parking. There's 0 parking spaces assigned to this building. Guess what the building didn't have? It didn't have children's church. At the time, the membership was 2,000, and we had about 130 kids. And this place didn't have parking. We left the place that had parking problem. This place didn't have 1 parking spot, and there was absolutely no place for the kids. But God said, this is the place. I said, oh, God, they're going to kill me. How can I bring this many people over here with not even 1 parking space? And where are we going to put the kids? God said, get it. And it took everything that the ministry had to get into this place. Everything. With no parking, no place for the kids. Can you imagine? I mean, I know we're already in the manifestation of the miracle, but can you just put yourself in my shoes for a second? I mean, I should get like fired or something like that for that was just a bad idea. Where are the people going to park? And where are the babies? Everybody love the babies. Where are the babies going to be? It made absolutely no sense. And before any of those doors opened, because God said this was so, I had to move on it and put the ministry in a very tricky situation. But the moment that I did, the moment that I committed, the doors opened. See, sometimes the door will not open until you commit to what God said. Oh, that's for somebody. It's not that He's waiting on you. Because here's what I learned about God. We got to keep moving. But see, here's what I learned about God. God, you build the road with your faith. So you say, God, show me the road, and I'll step on the road that you show me. And God says, no, I'll give you a word, and when you obey my word, when you put your foot out there, your steps will create the road. Somebody missed that. You missed that. You missed that. In faith, your steps create the road. There was no pathway for Peter to walk to Jesus on the water. There was no pathway for that. There was no road to sustain the weight of a human on water. There was no road. But Jesus says one word to him. Peter says, if it's you, let me walk on water to you. If it's you, let me do this. Jesus says, come. There's still no road, but there's a word. But just because there's a word doesn't mean that you're going to experience the road. The road was manifest when Peter steps out of the boat and begins to walk on the road that looked like water. He began to walk on something that looked like nothing. You have to be willing to step out on nothing in order to have produced and manifest what God promised.